Welcome to your 30-minute mat class in celebration of International Pilates Day. We are going to be moving through a gentle mat class. I will be giving you progressions if you'd like to take it up, and I will be giving you regressions as well to keep you where you're comfortable. We will be working primarily on the mat. This will have weight bearing included, so make sure that you are nice and comfortable on the floor in the space that you are working in. And we will be coming up into a standing position as well. Okay, we're going to start this class with the feet directly underneath the hips. Nice and centered, soft bend in the knees. We're going to bring the hands together, interlace them, and just gently circle through the wrists. Now what we're doing here is just preparing those wrists for weight bearing. Now weight bearing is quite a big component within Pilates, and this is where we get to use gravity or resistance against our own body weight. Weight bearing exercises are really important for helping improve your bone density and just strengthening yourself to be able to move your own body weight. That is the most important thing. We're here for another 3, 2, and 1. We're going to relax that down and just shake it out and come to the back of your mat or space. Feet can now be a little bit wider than the hips, still soft in the knees. We're going to start with those hands onto the thighs. You're going to inhale. As you inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, you're going to just drop the shoulders down. Again, inhale. Exhale, drop them down. Last one, inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, drop the chin down to the chest as the shoulders drop and start to slide those hands down the front of the leg until they reach the ankle. You want to keep the chin as relaxed as possible into the chest. We're going to inhale here. We're going to exhale, press the heels down into the floor and slowly roll back up. Good. We're going to do that again. Inhale at the top. Shoulders rise a little bit. Exhale, we're going to drop the chin, sink the shoulders, slide the hands down the front of the leg. This gives you a nice curve in the spine. Hands all the way to ankles, even if this means that the knees are bent, that's fine. 3, 2, press the heels into the floor and coming back up, still dragging the hands on the front of the thighs. One more time. This time we're going to stay down. So we're going to inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, let them slide down, drop the chin and roll it down. Hands are in the front of the legs, sliding down to the ankles. You're going to keep going and bring yourself onto the floor, onto your hands and knees. From here, you're going to bring the hands slightly further forward, tucking the toes behind you as well. And we're simply going to shift the hips forward and then sit them back into a shell stretch. As we come forward, we're opening up the chest, dropping the hips, pushing into the wrists, and then sitting that bum back down onto the heels. Let's do 2 more. Inhale and exhale. And last one. Inhale and exhale. And coming forward. We're now going to position ourselves so that our hands are directly underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. From here, we're going to extend the left leg out behind you. So one leg is out behind you and those toes are fixed onto the floor. The opposite arm is going to reach forward and round and back. Big inhale as you reach forward. Catch that rotation at the peak and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Joining that down, we're going to change legs over and continue with the opposite hand. Inhale forward, rotating up and exhale down. We go again. Inhale, getting as much rotation through that torso as possible. Inhale, catch that peak of rotation and exhale. Fantastic. Bringing the knees in and sitting the bum onto the heels. Now, if this position is not comfortable for you, feel free to be up in a high kneeling position instead. We're going to bring those arms up and interlace them behind the head. From here, we're simply going to reach over into a side bend, and recover. Keeping the sides of the body as long as possible as we go into this lateral bend, and recover. 2 more. Over to the side and recover. And last one, over to the side and recover. Fantastic. From there, we're going to be lying down onto our backs. So bringing yourself round and down into a comfortable position on the floor. Now, as we lie here, there's a few things I want you to think about. So I want you to think about the back of the head, so the skull being really heavy and anchored into the floor. Then you want to think about your rib cage, okay? Use your hands, find your rib cage. Understand where your rib cage is connecting to the floor and just drop the ribs heavily down into the floor. Lastly, you're going to find your hip bones, okay? So where I've placed my hands, I can feel my hips, okay? And I'm going to think about where my sacrum is. So my tailbone, your tailbone is right over here in the center of your bum at the bottom of your spine. And I'm going to think about that area also being heavy, being anchored down into the floor. So we have 3 anchor points. We have the base of the skull or the back of the head. We have the rib cage, nice and heavy into the floor. And then the sacrum pushing down into the floor as well. And everything else is nice and soft and relaxed. But those 3 parts, those 3 points of the body are our anchor. Now, from there, let's revisit finding the hips. So the pelvis, you are holding onto the pelvis. We're going to start with small pelvic tilts. So what we're going to do is we are going to tilt our tailbone towards the face. All right, and that is going to bring the pelvis up slightly. It's going to flatten my back into the floor. And then I'm going to tilt it the other way, where my tailbone goes down. My lower back and sacrum will slightly lift up. My ribs will feel like they want to flare. And opposite direction. So you are moving through these tilts. Now, if you're experiencing any pain or discomfort in one of the directions, just take it easy. Just move to the discomfort, not through it, okay? Just move as far as you can within this tilt range. Good. We're going to go 2 more. Last one. Scooping and release. We're then going to settle into the center, back into a nice neutral spine. Again, thinking head, ribs, sacrum, heavy onto the floor. I'm going to bring my arms up. I'm going to bring them behind my head. I find this nice and comfortable. Okay, if this is uncomfortable for you, have your arms long at your sides. And we are going to bring one leg up into a tabletop position. Just hold that there for a second. Understand where the knee above the hips is. So we're making that 90-degree angle. Let's place that down. Let's go with the other side. Okay, we want to make sure that our setup is as accurate as possible and putting it down. Now we're going to go both. So we're going to lift up the one. Big inhale. Exhale, anchor the spine onto the floor and bring that second leg up. Now, if we've set up correctly, we should feel relatively stable and not a lot of work or effort going on. If you feel your hip flexors or your quads, the front of your thighs, starting to work, I want you to simply drop the feet. Okay, so the thigh bone will stay where it is, but you'll relax through the feet and you'll go into what we call a lazy tabletop. So we are here. We are anchored through the head, through the ribs, through the sacrum. And now let's start to think about your belly button. I want you to drop your belly button down into your spine. So we have a gentle pressure pushing down on that abdomen. And now, holding all of that, making sure nothing really moves too much, we're going to start to tap one foot down to the floor at a time. And the idea is that the head, the ribs, and the sacrum remain as absolutely anchored and still as possible. Good. Let's move through another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping one foot at a time down to the floor. From there, let's bring the arms up and place them down at your sides. We're going to move into bridges. So I want you to have your feet directly underneath your hips, and I want you to start to think about your footprint. Imagine your footprint on the floor in your mind. We're going to start to push that footprint down into the floor. And the moment you push your feet into the floor, you'll start to feel some activation in the backs of the legs. That's what we're looking for. We want that activation in the back of the leg. Now, once you've found that activation, all you're going to do is draw the abdominals in and up. It's like you're zipping up the belly button, pushing down through the feet, zipping up the belly button, pushing down through the feet, and you will see that your pelvis will come up into a super active bridge. If you cannot feel your legs working, but you're in this position, you're just bridging up using your back. We need those legs to be working. From here, I'm going to keep the pressure through my feet, but just slowly bring my spine back down to the floor until I feel my tailbone hit, and then I'm going to relax completely. Pilates is extremely effective, but only if it is done correctly. Simply making the shapes does not equal an effective rep. Let's start again. Think about that footprint. Push that footprint down into the floor. You should feel the backs of your legs activating. From there, draw the belly button in towards you. Imagine you're trying to zip up your abdominals towards your rib cage. Pressure down into the feet. Zip up through the abdominals. Hold that. Keep that pressure. Do a little check-in for your thighs. Have they veered out to the side? Keep them parallel to each other. Maintain that pressure through the legs, and very slowly start to lower that sacrum back down to the floor, relaxing completely at the bottom. One more rep like that. We are pushing down through the feet. Super active through those legs, drawing up those lower abdominals all the way until those hips are nice and lifted. Legs are working. Squeeze those feet into the floor. You should be pushing so hard that your feet are indenting into your mat, into your carpet, whatever you're lying on. Indent those feet down into it for another 3, 2, 1. Start to bring it back down all the way and relax. Really nice work, guys. Widen the feet for a second, drop the knees side to side just a few times. Get a little bit of rotation going into the pelvis, into the lower back. Great. Okay, so let's revisit our tabletop position. So the hands come back behind the head. Quick check, my head is anchored, my ribs are anchored, my tailbone is anchored. One leg up, second leg up. We're now going to bring in a curl up. So this looks like a crunch, but it is so much more. So to get us going, let's feel our head heavy in our hands. Okay, the elbows are not going to close. They are just at my sides. Now from here, I'm going to inhale. I'm going to exhale, drop my belly button into my spine and lift my shoulder blades off the floor. And slowly down. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulder blades off the floor. Belly button into the spine. And down. Now on this next one, we're going to hold it just a little bit longer. So inhale. Exhale, drop the belly. Coming up. Now, reach those arms and grab behind your thighs. Using your arms, I want you to curve that spine even more. Okay, so now I'm a little bit lifted, a little bit higher. My shoulder blades are off the floor. I'm holding that there. I'm going to maintain this height as the arms come up. They find my head and I slowly roll down. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, curl it up. Arms reach up and over. They grab my thighs. My arms assist me here, okay? I'm going to pull myself up. I want to find more height. I'm then going to hold it. Hold that height as the hands come back behind the head and down. Let's go for one more. Inhale. Exhale, coming up. Arms up and over. Grab the thighs. Pull yourself up a little bit more. dropping that belly button down into the spine, holding it here. Arms come up behind the head and slowly down, dropping one leg, dropping the other, and relax. Fantastic. That is your ab prep. Now, we're going to take that straight into rolling like a ball. We're going to start off super assisted. So we're going to bring the knees into my chest, hands on the back of my thighs, and I'm simply going to use a bit of momentum, push my feet to the floor, and sit up. I'm going to do that a few times, okay? And every time you do it, I want you to see if you can just feel a little bit more controlled. So the first couple might really feel like you're throwing your legs away from you, but I want you to imagine what would happen if you stopped just before the feet hit the ground. Let me shift a little bit. So for now, just nice and easy. There's a lot of momentum on purpose. That's okay. Great, let's do one more. And relax. So now we're going to change our grip. And the grip is going to come to the front of the shin. Okay, and you're going to bring your legs in as close as possible to you. And you are going to be just rocked gently off your sit bones with your lower abdominals pulling in towards your spine. My toes are going to come off the floor. So I'm now nice and balanced. I'm in a curved spine, and I'm going to do my best to come back to this position. So we're going to exhale. That exhale is going to roll me back and come back up and hold. We go again. I like to inhale on the recovery on rolling like a ball. So exhale down and inhale on that way up. Let's go two more. Exhale down. And last one. And up. Fantastic. From there, place the feet down. Arms are going to come out in front of us. We're going to inhale. You're going to exhale, roll off your sit bones. Just halfway. Pause for a second. Inhale brings you all the way back. My feet stay flat. They stay glued to the floor. Exhale. Inhale. Two more. Here we go. Halfway. Last one. Let's take it down. You're halfway. Your feet are flat. We're going to hold this here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover. Excellent. From there, I want you to extend the legs out in front of you as much as possible. I understand that this position is difficult for a few people, so if you need to grab a pillow or a couple yoga blocks and just elevate your bum in this position, feel free to do so. You can even just pop your bum onto your bed or onto your couch and just sit with the legs out in front of you in a wide position if you're feeling very tight. From here, our arms are going to come out to the side and behind the head. We're going to inhale. Exhale, rotate. Extend the arms. From here, I am sending that right hand to my left foot, bending over as far as possible. Coming back up. And exhale. Other side. Rotate as far as you can first. Extend those arms. Send the hand over the foot as much as possible. Recover. And in. One more time each side. Rotate. Extend those arms. Bending down over that leg, reaching. Recover. And in. Other side. Reaching it over. Coming up. And in. And relax. Fantastic. Bringing those legs in and just giving yourself a second here to breathe. Fantastic. From there, we're going to go back to your hands and knees. So back into your kneeling position. And we're going to come down onto the elbows. So my knees are underneath my hips and my hands are underneath my shoulders. And I'm going to bring my elbows down to the floor and my arms are parallel to each other. And I'm going to extend my left leg out behind me. And while I'm doing this, my right shin, okay, is really pushing down into the floor. And I'm going to lift this leg as high as possible. I'm really trying to open up the hip, okay? And I'm just holding that there. I'm just opening up the hip. And I'm going to think about drawing my lower abdominals into my spine. Fantastic. Now, the spine is going to remain completely unchanged. It stays super straight. And I'm going to tap the floor and squeeze. 2 and squeeze. You want to ensure that you're evenly balanced between both arms, that you're pushing your right shin down into the floor. You're not changing the shape of your spine. 1 more. We're going to lift it up. We're going to hold. We're then going to bend the knee in. I'm still not changing the shape of my spine. And take it back out. And in and out. Very important that the shape of your spine is not changing. Okay? 2 more. Last one. Holding it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to bring it in and sit back into a shell. I want you to remember what leg that is. It is my left leg. So when I come back onto my hands and knees, I'm still using my left leg, okay? So now what's going to happen is I'm going to extend my left leg out. I'm going to lift it into the air. I'm then going to take my right hand to underneath my forehead. I'm now working in oppositions. And I'm holding here. And I'm pressing the floor away and lifting that leg. I am stabilizing through my shoulders, through my spine, through my glutes. You have a long neck. You are not collapsing. We are here for another 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm going to place the hand down, place the foot down, join the second leg, and now I'm in a high plank. We are holding it here for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Knees come down. Bum goes to the heels into that shell stretch. Whew, and breathe. Very good. So remembering that that was your left leg. So as we start the sequence again, please make sure you're working with the other leg. Alrighty, so coming into that, we start down with the elbows, nice and forearms parallel. My right leg goes out behind me, and I'm going to lift it up. Now, let's just hold it here for a second and explore the position. The leg is lifting as high as it can. The lower abdominals are lifted. The forearms are parallel, and the weight is even between both arms. The golden rule is that the spine does not change shape as I lower and lift. 2 and lift. 3 and lift. My left shin is pushing into the floor, actively pushing into the floor. 5 and lift. Last one. 6 and lift. Keep that spine unchanged as the knee comes in and out. 2 and out. 3, no movement through the spine, and out. 4 and out. 5 and out. Last one. 6 and hold and bring it in. Coming onto my hands, remembering that that's my right leg. Okay, right leg goes out, it lifts up. Left hand comes underneath my forehead and we hold. We are maintaining this balance. Pushing the floor away. long neck, stable for 5, 4, 3, 2, hand and foot comes down, join with the other side, small bend in the elbows. We're here for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, knees down and shell. Very good work. And coming up from that, just take a second to roll the shoulders back. Okay, and from there, we're gonna sit down onto our bums with the feet out in front of us. And we're gonna let both of them fall over to the side into kind of a 90-90 degree shape with the legs. From there, I'm gonna keep twisting my body so it's as over this knee as possible. And I'm gonna reach gently forward. So hopefully just getting a light stretch into my front leg, at the back, the glute, and then into this hip. Okay, we're gonna be here for 3, 2, and 1. Coming up, I'm gonna do exactly the same thing on the other side. So just changing your legs over, rotating your torso over your knee, and then bringing the body forward. And of course, you can take the body further down if that feels good for you. I'm already in quite a bit of a stretch, yeah, so I don't feel the need to take it down any further, but that's totally up to you. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. From there, we are sat on the bum and we're going to explore those full roll downs. So we've done the rolling like a ball, we've done the half. Hopefully that spine has found a little bit of mobility by this stage, okay? But if you struggle with this, that's okay. This is one of the key movements in Pilates, not because it means your abs are strong if you can sit all the way up, but it means that your abs are functioning, and it also means that you have sufficient mobility and pliability through the spine, which is super important. Now, you can either perform this with your legs straight or bent. If it's easier with your legs straight and you're fine, then challenge yourself by bending them. If it's the other way around, then that's fine. I want good reps, but if they're too easy, make sure you give yourself a bit of a challenge. They will get better as you go. Don't be disheartened by your first few. From here, I'm going to inhale. I'm going to exhale, roll off my sit bones. Take myself down. Nice and slow and smooth. At no point do I lose control. The head hits the floor, the arms circle. I'm going to exhale, peeling my head, my shoulders, then the rest of me slowly back up. Let's go again. Keeping those feet down, totally in control. Feel the length across the thighs. We don't want those thighs to be gripping. Hands behind the head, hands swoop around. Tuck the chin, lift the head, and reach, 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 and up. Let's go for 2 more. Exhale, rolling down. Nice and slow and smooth. You want the quads to be as relaxed as possible. Arms are circling around. There is no momentum. Head just lifts and you reach. Smooth, no jarring, and up and relax. Fantastic. Okay, coming around from that, we are going to end in our high plank position. So as soon as you are ready, the hands come down, the feet come out, and we hold this here. Feel the chest opening, feel the strength through the arms, through the legs, through the spine in this position for 4, 3, 2. I'm going to soften my knees as I walk my hands back to my feet and come into my rag doll position. My chin is relaxed. My heels are pressing into the floor. I'm going to slowly start to roll up, pushing the heels into the floor, drawing the belly button into the spine, and slowly stacking the spine up. Excellent. From there, the feet are directly underneath the hips. I want you to just take a second, soften the knees, make sure that the ribs are sitting on top of the hips, the shoulders on top of the ribs, and the head perfectly in the middle. From there, we're going to bring the hands up and over the head. Big inhale. We're going to exhale, open up those arms and let them fall at your side and relax. Thank you so much for joining me for that 30-minute mat work class. Those were some of my absolute basic Pilates and favorite basic Pilates movements that I have been working with over the past 7 years of teaching. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for moving with me. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you want to know more about how you can safely, effectively, and simply look after your physical and mental well-being, please head to KezaWellness.com for many more diverse solutions. Thank you.